59. Here we go. We are off. All right, we start off with something pretty easy. Number one, when the two chords meet inside the circle, forming a sort of a plus sign, you add and take half. 40 plus 30 being 70, half of 70 is 35, so angle 1 is 35. Done. Here, when they meet outside the circle, they form more of a minus sign, reminding you that you're going to subtract the arcs and take half. 120 minus 40 being 80, half of 80, angle 2 must be 40. Done. Number 3. Doesn't matter if the arcs happen to be a little on the larger side, we still have two chords and their intercepted arcs. We still add and take half. We do get a fraction this time, I can see, because we have an odd number involved here. Adding those guys, we get what, 275. Half of 275 being 137.5, is that right? 137.5, I believe. Yep, that's it. 137.5. Number 4. Well, if they meet outside the circle, even if they're both tangents, we still subtract and take half. Subtract and take half. Subtract what? Subtract this arc from this arc. Well, the whole circle is 360, and if this part is 260, what's that leave for that part? Oh, that must be 100. Because the whole thing has to be 360. But we have not yet subtracted, nor have we taken half. So we now do our 260 minus 100, which is 160, and take half, and we find out that angle 4 is half of 160, otherwise known as 80. We move on to number 5. No, we don't. Was that the end? Oh, there's more down here. There's number 5. Okay, again, hey. Same thing. It doesn't matter if one of them happens to be a tangent and the other is a secant. We still subtract and take half. It's still 170 minus 80, which is 90, and half of 90 being 45. Nothing to it. 3 points on the test. Number 6. Number 6 is a little bit different. I warned you about one of these. I did an example just like this in the previous video. We have to subtract this arc minus that arc. I know this one. I don't know that one yet. How do I get it? Oh, that's easy. Because we know the whole circle adds up to 360. So far I've got 120 and 160. That adds up to 280. So far I've got 280. So what's that leave me for this little guy? It leaves me with 360. Subtract the 280, which leaves me with 80. So this arc is 80. Now I apply the rule that says subtract the arcs and take half. 160 minus 80 is 80. Half of 80 is 40. We're done. Number 7. Okay, this guy, there are a couple ways to look at this, but I'd like to think of it as thinking it through backwards. We addressed this in the previous video. Thinking it through backwards. I know that to find this guy, if I didn't know what that was, to find him I would add these two and take half. I would get 75. If I got 75 after taking half, what was that right before I took half? Just before taking half, it must have been 150. It was 150 I was taking half of. Where'd that 150 come from? That 150 comes from adding the arcs. Oh, so x must be 50. So we would have 100 plus 50 divided by 2 is 75. Yes, it works. X is 50. I call it thinking it through backwards. Number 8. Another thinking it through backwards problem, same type. We know that when they meet outside the circle, we're supposed to subtract and take half. So if we subtract and take half to get the angle, what was that angle right before we took half? just before that last step, that would have been a 60. We took half of 60 to get 30. Where did the 60 come from? The 60 came from x minus 70 had to be 60. Therefore, what's x? 130. Check it, make sure it works. 130 minus 70 is 60. And then half of 60 is 30. We're done. We move on to the next page, where things got maybe a little more challenging, maybe. Number 11 on page 359. If RT is 80, and US, arc US measure is 40, and I'm looking for angle 1, well that's easy, nothing challenging there. Add the arcs, remember, they meet inside, that's kind of like a plus sign. We add and take half. 80 plus 40 being 120, half of 120 being 60. We're done. Number 12. For number 12, what do we have? RU is 30, 130. RU, way up here, is 130. TS is 100. They're trying to trick you with this one. So the arcs that we're talking about this time are this guy and this guy. They meet in the middle, so we add and take half. 130 plus 100 is 230. Half of 230 is 115. So is this 115 then? Well, this is 115, but not this guy. We just found this angle. We just found this angle. We didn't find that one. But we do know that these have to add up to 180. So that means angle 1 must be 65. 65. Be careful that you don't answer the wrong question. If there were a test question like this, and there probably would be, where I give you these arcs but ask for not this angle, but I ask for that angle, don't forget, they're not the same. You've got to subtract from 180 to find this guy. All right, number 12. Get rid of all this. Start over. Number 12. RU is 130. Or did we just do number 12? Oh, we just did number 12. We're already on number 13. Wow, we're flying. Number 13. Angle 1 is 50. Oh, they start with the angle this time. Angle 1 is 50. Hey, what was that right before we took half? It was 100. All right, so angle 1 is 50. Arc RT is 70. And we're looking for arc US. Okay, again, thinking it through backwards. To find the angle, you would add the arcs and take half. We'd get 50. What was it right before you took half? You would have been taking half of 100. Where would that 100 come from? It would come from 70 plus 30. This guy has to be 30. If you're unsure of yourself, take 8 seconds to check it out. 70 plus 30 is 100. Half of 100 is 50. It works. Number 14. Angle 1 is 52. Arc US is 36. Arc US is 36. Oh, another one of the same kind. We're looking for arc RT. Okay. Well, once again, what was this guy before we took half? 52 is what we get after we did the last step. 52 is what we would have gotten after we took half. So before we took half, it would have been 104. And where did that 104 come from? That 104 came from 36 plus this guy. So if we subtract 36, we get, let's see, 8, we get 68, right? So this guy is 68. And yes, I believe that is correct. Sometimes in my haste I make mistakes, but RT is 68. Are we looking for RT? Oh yes, down here, RT is 68. And because I always have doubts about myself when I'm on my feet and thinking too fast, I just want to verify that number 14 is indeed, 14? Yeah, 14 is indeed 68, yes. So I don't trust myself. Number 15, CT, arc CT has a measure of 110. CT is 110. Arc BT is 50. I bet they're going to ask for angle A. Yes, they're asking for angle A. Well, remember, when a secant and a tangent meet outside the circle, just subtract the arcs and take half. 110 minus 50 is 60. Half of 60, it's 30. 110 minus 50, take half. Number 16, and you thought these were going to be hard. Maybe you didn't. Number 16, the angle is 28. Oh, they're doing things backwards this time. Arc BT is 46. Arc BT is 46. We're looking for arc CT. Well, we know that to find the angle measure, our last step would be take half. So what was that just before we took half? It must have been half of 56. Well, where did that 56 come from? That 56 came from the measure of arc CT minus 46 was the 56 that I took half of. Add 46 to both sides, we get 102, correct? We get 102. Number 16, checking my answer here, we do indeed get 102. Number 17, angle A is 35. Arc CT is 110. Excuse me. We want arc BT. We want this guy. Okay, well, same stuff again. We know that we would subtract these arcs and take half. So just before we took half, this must have been 70. Where did the 70 come from? The 70 came from 110 minus this guy, measure of arc BT. And we would have gotten 70, which we would then take half of to get 35. So subtracting 70 from 110, we have 40. Arc BT is 40. And we move on to number 18. Almost done. Oh, we have two tangents. Okay. These are nice. Excuse me. Arc XZY. Remember, when you're naming a major arc, you need 3 letters. So everybody knows that we're on this side, not on that side. So we have arc XZY, which is the red arc. What red arc? This red arc. XZY. And we know its measure is 250. Its measure is 250. Well, just like over and over and over again we've seen, we subtract the arcs and take half. But we don't know this one. Sure we do. Because if the whole circle is 360 and the red part is 250, this white part must be the rest of 360. 360 minus the 250 on the other side leaves us with 110. So this arc is 110. Oh, so we're done? Oh, we take half of that. No. We still have to subtract the arcs and take half. 250 minus 110, and then we'll take half of our answer. This gives us 140. Half of 140, the angle is 70. The angle is 70. And for number 19, okay, 19. Arc XY is 90. Arc XY is 90. We want angle P. Cool thing about this is they only have to give you one arc and you can find everything else. It's kind of nice. So if this is 90, then what's the rest of the circle? If it adds up to 360, the rest of the circle must be 270. So they add up to 360. Now we subtract the arcs. 270 minus 90, and we'll take half of our answer. That gives us 80. No, it doesn't. It gives us 90. Sorry. Wait a minute. No, I'm saying it gives us 180. Woo! Okay, that's what weird was going on there. It gives us 180, half of 180. Angle P is half of 180. It's 90. And we're done. All right. There's no new material. We're done with new material for the year. How about that? So, you've got an assignment. The review assignment for the Chapter 9 test is page 369. Numbers 1 through 21, all. Take that very, very seriously, because if you can do this, then you can do the test. Yeah. And that's it. See you next time with our discussion of page 369. This, by the way, is due when? This is due Wednesday. And the test is Thursday at 1 o'clock. Your test will be Thursday at 1 o'clock. Don't anyone tell me I didn't tell you.